All right, it is Monday morning, July 10th. I got Cirillo in the seat next to me. We're talking Benz going Tesla, 40 epic auto people, and AI in lawsuits.
Everywhere I go, the people really want to know who I is and who I be. They stop and stare with me. No need to repeat.
Cirillo, you chose no hat day.
I was like, I got hats at the disposal, like costume changes on a Broadway show. And I'm like, I'm cleanly shaven today. I'm just gonna feature it.
He said I got all the cut-ins over here and over here. Did some manscaping on the beard. I'm good to go. Good to go.
That's right.
So Paul is out this week. So it's you and me. We gotta lean in, figure it out. I gotta do the reads, which is normally what happens is I go real sideways because I try and say 8 words at a time. So you're gonna have to bear with me. Oh man, we got a couple things going on this week. No big deal. On Wednesday, if you don't know, we are doing another ASOTU Edge webinar. We have shrunk these webinars down from 55 minutes to 30 minutes, so you can get in, get out, learn some stuff. We are working with Upstart this week to talk about a connected auto retailing buying journey and a dealership that is totally transforming the whole sales engagement. If you want to see that, if you want to get to that, go to asotu.com, scroll down just a wee bit, and it's hanging out right there. Also, if you don't have your tickets to ASOTUCon, you got to get them now. Cirillo, the whole team is geared up. We're already talking about team dynamics on our Friday call, right?
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. So,
well, I mean, you were just showing me around the venue a little bit virtually, and I was like, oh my gosh, you think you can't one up the previous year's event, and then Kyle's like, check this out.
Next year, the Superdome. No.
That's right.
There you go. All right, let's get into it. Here we go. No segue into the first one. Another domino has fallen, though, in Tesla's favor, as Mercedes-Benz has announced that they will integrate the NACS charging connector in their EVs beginning in 2024. This is after a series of others, including Ford and GM, and we'll mention a few others in a second that have already said, hey, look, we're putting down the CCS connector. We're going into the NACS adapter. So just Tesla, again, taking over. Mercedes is also planning a charging network of over 2,500 chargers, with some sites of those opening in late 2023. So the manufacturers that we know right now, we got VW, BMW, Hyundai, Toyota, Honda, Stellantis, Jaguar, Land Rover, and now Mercedes-Benz. And Mercedes-Benz is in. Those, though, are the ones in North America who have not adopted the standard. So VW, BMW, Hyundai, Toyota, Honda, Stellantis, Jaguar, Land Rover, still not on board. Who's the first one to fall? Who do you think's coming next?
Peugeot.
He's like, don't worry, they're gonna do it, guys.
Citroën.
I promise you. The interesting thing here is just watching how quickly, when you have one fall, that everybody else falls in line. But I think it's going to be a really good thing for just the charging network, right? You add 2,500 that now all these manufacturers can go ahead and enjoy.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of those barriers to entry that I know EV drivers think a lot about. You don't realize until you have to drive 300 miles in an EV how nerve-wracking it can be, because there's so many different charging standards. You don't know if the charging, stations along the way are going to fit your car or that car, or did you have the right adapter or whatnot. And so the more mainstream this becomes, that just means that the charging network's going to be there, and it's going to alleviate a lot of that.
Well, yeah, you think about just traveling. You don't go. I mean, I remember as a kid, my parents would kind of map out on the map that was as big as the windshield. Don't know how they drove with that thing, but they would map out okay, there's our gas station shops, but they're just everywhere,
right?
So there's no I wonder if there's going to be gas at the next stop, right? It just always is. And then to add the complexity of here's another possibility. Yeah, this is I love Ryan Van Soch says my wife had a panic attack when when she was trying to figure out if the driving worked or not. But kudos to Tesla for setting the standard and Mercedes-Benz jumping on board. Speaking of setting the standard.
Stop. Segue. Time.
If you haven't been on LinkedIn or Facebook, you don't know this yet, but the 40 under 40 class for automotive news, the 12th annual class, has just been announced over the weekend. It just as a note, it mainly honors executives, service and sales managers. There's even a general counsel in there right now. So it's executives in the auto industry that are under 40 years old. There's 40 of them sitting there. And a couple of people that we know. We've got Dana Clev. She's the director of diversity engagement and foundation at Walser Automotive Group. If you go in the show notes, you can find her episode on Amplify, our podcast that we did at the Reuters event. And then Felicia Ray, who just recently we had on our Saturday email, was also there. She's the owner loyalty manager at Lynn's Nissan City. The really, really cool part that we were excited about was Dan Shine, who has just been a massive encouragement over the last few weeks. Wrote an article about how he was struck how the heart of the automotive news was met by More Than Cars. His quote is, "More Than Cars reminded me of the special stories behind so many of the people we cover. People who were born into it and those who took circuitous routes to the automotive retail industry." And that word, ladies and gentlemen, brought to you by
circuitous.
So,
I'm just taking a guess.
Yeah, just taking a guess. So,
you know what
kudos,
enrages me about this?
Yeah.
What enrages me is that I've aged out.
You never had a shot anyway. You never worked at a dealership.
But I've aged out. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm the next round up. There's the 60 under 60 award.
Yeah, dude, I wish they just like started like it's 50 under 50, 60 under 60. Like you get more of a shot the older you go, you know.
Above ground. The above ground
above ground that are above it. Here's some interesting ones. You ready? Ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
So Tristan Topps, also on the list, is a former Miss United States back in 2015. Isn't that wild?
That's wild.
The Miss United States is in the auto industry, running dealerships. Let's see. Christina Perez Cubas performed at the 2007 Super Bowl halftime show. Do you remember 2007?
Was that NSYNC, Britney Spears, and Aerosmith?
Dude, if you're right about that, see, because that actually was a show. Hang tight.
That was an epic one.
Even better. You know what that one was? Prince.
No way. What did she do? Was she a musician, a dancer?
I don't know. She was there.
I better not find out after looking it up that she was just in the front row in the crowd, you know, like when they all rushed the stage.
No. I'm sure she was on stage. You can't say performed and then do that.
Oh yeah, that's
all
fair.
right.
That's fair.
Here's a name. Ready? So Carrie Lanzavecchia took 3 attempts to pass her written learner's permit, and now in the auto industry. How about that? Epic.
I love it.
Like, can't drive, now drive in the auto industry. And then here's probably my favorite. Ronnie Lowenfield, who is at Casa Auto Group, has a collection of over 2,500 bottles of bourbon dating back to like 1900.
He's like, don't fact check me on the number. But somewhere.
Don't get him on month end close.
It's actually 12 models. And he's like, I don't know. I see double.
Oh man. Well, speaking of seeing double.
Stop. Segue.
Time.
Some authors are seeing double right now. Sarah Silverman and authors Christopher Golden and Richard Kadri are suing OpenAI and Meta, which is a bold ask, alleging copyright infringement as their AI chatbots trained on illegally obtained datasets have been summarizing the author's book without permission. So basically what has happened is the large language learning models of OpenAI and Meta have basically gone to origins that can go find these books. They're calling illicit origins, and training their data sets. So the pile was assembled by a company called Eleuther AI, which takes content from a private tracker called Bibliotech. So essentially what can happen, because these the manuscripts are not public facing, or and there's no like PDFs available, these large language models have gone in and found like loopholes or places that people have put these to go find the full manuscripts so that they can go summarize them. Like these aren't publicly available works. Sarah Silverman's book was written, I think, in 2010, right? And so like that's a for me, that's a pretty big thing. I mean, point.
Yeah, and I'm going to track this one closely because also once Sarah Silverman published her book and made it public, it still didn't get enough readership to be called public, you know? So it's like, you know.
Yeah.
And also, like, I don't know if people understand how economics work, but when you're worth $0 and you go and sue a company with unlimited dollars, it's going to be a real long time before there's a decision.
That's true. But Sarah Silverman isn't worth $0. There are other people that probably, I mean, Sarah Silverman is a big actress, and
she's got actors.
Yeah, she's done a lot more on the acting side than the autobiography side. So she's, you know, poking the bear. I think it's more kind of like on principle at this point because there's a lot of, because I've seen a lot on like artists and people, you know, questioning how images are coming to life. Some of these AI images, but authors, publishers, writers, like you think about,
this is our kids' version of Napster.
This is Napster. Exactly what it is.
That's what this is.
Oh man. Can you imagine like, what does that look like? Because like Napster was solved at some point, right?
Yeah, I think they came out with Softwire or LimeWire, which was the exact same thing but different. And then, you know, Hetfield from Metallica was like, grrr, but I mean, the thing is that what this really brings up to me, what really intrigues me, all jokes aside, is how quickly as human beings we jump on a bandwagon. We're like, this thing's going to the edge of the universe. We don't even think we'll be able to breathe there, but it sounds cool. Boom. And we jump on. And then it's a matter of like, you remember Web3?
Right. Gone. Well, yeah. Monthly active usership on ChatGPT has been in like sharp decline during June and July. So we're already seeing it.
Yeah, it's the same age-old thing. We jump on quick. Everybody, you know, gets on social media. All these gurus pop up out of nowhere selling their $49 course. Give it a year and we're like, wait, what are the actual implications of this? And so, you know, Sarah Silverman and all these other authors jumping on the bandwagon of, wait a minute, this is going to really impact original works. Screech. It's going to make everybody shy. All those people that thought... all those people that taught you could write children's books and get them published on Amazon in 48 hours, they're out of business. Like everything just changes. And so, you know, Dan, my business partner, been a longtime friend. He's like, Web 2 said it was going to do all these things and it landed dramatically different than what we thought it would. And here we are again with all of these different things landing in a completely different spot than we thought. So,
yep, absolutely. Well, hey, that's your little update for today. Really, today is all about these 40 under 40 and give them kudos. If you know one of them, take a look at the list, shoot them a text, shoot them an email, because it's a big accomplishment and great celebration. And our industry is full of amazing people.